It's 6 o'clock. We're ready to get started. Ellen, would you open us the word of prayer, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Jimmy?
Here.
Here.
All right, tonight we're going to do things a little different than most council meetings. We have some school board members and a school board superintendent here, and we have some individuals here. And the school has some ballparks here in town that they're not using, and we're going to have this discussion. There's nothing concrete one way or the other. I think the school, if we come up with a good game plan, has got a way to let us use them maybe. And Jamie, I'll let Jamie talk to the school board, not me, and the city will. We don't have a lot of money to put in, but we've got some equipment we could use. The city is council, we're behind if this were to go at a good deal. I think. Not thinking for myself. I mean, we're all, if we come with some plan together, the ball will go in. I think we're all in favor of trying to get something working. Why don't you just open up and kind of explain where the school board's coming from, then we'll know more what the discussion can be.
Well, I think from a school standpoint, just kind of research from the council standpoint of what school can do. If this was limited out on that, we're wanting to be proper government. What has to be institution of higher education that goes to community college 49, not a profit organization. This is what we're required to get this case. Very similar, I guess, to what the LA line to property and ball fields there. I think from a district standpoint, and I don't want to speak for all four of the districts now, but I think we're just going to see if there's a plan, is there a structure plan in place where the district or the board would feel comfortable in making that change on any property. That's cool.
And I don't think as far as a plan tonight, anybody represent one, because we need to get some input about what everybody's, we've had a lot of people talk about these ball fields that kids play ball in Glenwood on. And the people that's talking about that's going to have to do it, because the school board's not interested in that. They're going to basically relinquish property if things were to go right. And we're going to have to get active here, get a committee together and give them, go back to school board and get plans. I think from here to Jamie, they're willing to work with whoever, and I'm not so sure it couldn't work with Jody. I'm sorry, Jody. I call everybody wrong with it anyway. All right. Let's just start with something. I think a lot of you people here in the crowd tonight are interested in this. Is that right? Why don't somebody just go around the room? And the city has gone up there. Jody told them last year on the old Little League field that we could use, to clean it up, we could use it. Well, it's mowed. Somebody burned the concession stand down, the bathrooms down, they burned bleachers down, they burned one of the dugouts down, and burning all that stuff down, they shot all the lights out. You got an outfield fence, and you got your backdrop fence is still in good shape. You got one dugout that's still in pretty good shape. You got all your fence up outside still there. And there's actually a second field over there that Optimus Club started working on several years ago. And chain link fence and all those laying on the ground over there to put one more ball field in right there. We can have two ball fields down. The city bought, we bought from the surplus, federal surplus. We bought some 28-foot poles for super cheap. We jumped over to the ballpark and looked at the ballpark and looked at what we did to the pickleball courts now. And we got pickleball court, basketball court lit up, and skateboard park. We have 4 poles laying there right now. We're going to put up, and we're going to put the lights on, and that will have that one ball field lit. We're also going to come downtown here with the chamber. We're going to put 3 more poles up. They have a lot of chamber events when it's going on down here. So, and we have more poles. We can light 4 or 5 more fields. And the city has those.
I turn the lights on my pickup too.
Huh?
I turn the lights on my pickup too.
And, but anyway, we can, as far as that, I wouldn't go back up there and over-wrench and do anything. I wouldn't try to set those old lights back on those old poles. Let's set those new poles, and they're new metal 48-foot poles. You put LED lights in, be done with it. Because those poles, you put the wires back on, they might fall down. They're not in the best shape. But what is who wants to start? Karen? Okay.
Well, Bill called me, just said that we have this opportunity, and anybody knows, and I've called several times, she's heard me area, but it's said that our money is leaving our town. We love it. I want to keep the money here in Glenwood. Number 2, provide this for our families. It's a lot of work, so that either our health good, or operators is a precaution. We can play right here. So a lot of people are at here on time, it's right here, and have a big list on the phone. They're willing to come up clean, or I don't know if we have to, follow the rules and regulations we can do. But there's a lot of people willing and ready
Karen, I just want to say that before we get all into this, I'm 100% in on this, and whatever it takes to make it happen, we're gonna have to get creative with financing, but I'm all about it. So whatever we need to do, and whatever assistance you need from us, like, we're in it. I'm in it. I don't want to speak for anybody, but I love what you're doing, and 100% support you.
Are there any federal grants that we started a nonprofit organization, we're out in the community, that we can draw any dollars from? Does anybody do that?
That would be the best question for Karen.
What we're entitled right now is only $2,500 is the only one I can find, just to remove you, as long as it's involves faithless and kids are getting exercise, we'll give us grants, one, two, three, I've written them up.
Okay. Barbara?
We've been talking.
What about Kayla? Have you spoken with Kayla Hartsfield? Did you already go?
I have not talked to Tyler yet.
There might be something to do.
But there might be something there, but as far as just Greenfield, it's really, it's gonna have to come from just hard work, dedication of people that's really coming and, working with the public, whatever, you got a lot of things, and school and.
What's that, Alan? Alan said he's going to donate to Dirt Word.
So would that be, would you be nervous, that would have to be turned over to the organization, not city, right?
Well, let me ask a question. I know that the corporate entity, that's still involved in the Glenwood kids, right? They just don't have any more bills to play down there.
Yes, it is, but like, as of right now, like practicing and everything, you got kids practicing on the old field, third, and those fields, sometimes in the outfield, behind the field, they're just trying to practice, so you can keep fit. I mean, they're literally practicing where they need.
I may be wrong, but because there's not grants available right now, I personally think what we could do in the school is a plan of how to get, the old Little League field back open. Let's get one of them over at a time. Let's talk about it, $1 million grant and do this, because that's probably not gonna happen. I think we could get, I mean, we got the light poles, those big LED lights we're buying, they're not $100, they're about $100 a piece. Go up there and look at what 24 of them did up there at the park. I mean, you can light, with those things, you can light, they're about $100 buy. The last batch I bought was 12 lights, we gave 800 for it, we bought one badge, that's well, $1,000, discuss it on the internet for it. And those lights fills up, and then, for instance, they burned the bathroom down up there, the concrete, the plumbing, you had to bust the concrete out to get your pipe hooked onto it, you could put bathrooms back up there. I think it'd get bleachers, volunteers to build bleachers back up there, but I know the dugout, you could have that thing, when chain link fence still laying there for it, you just gotta put post back up and the top back on.
We're back to the same thing that I've been saying for 2 years. I'm gonna float it one more time. But I firmly believe that if the city would figure out a way to get some person, older person, retired person, couple, whatever, and give them some sort of jurisdiction or some authority of some type, and supplement it on 1099, not as an employee, but as a subcontractor, we said, hey, we're going to give y'all $200 a week, and you're already at the park, you're already walking at the park, you're already enjoying the park. All we want you to do is keep your eyes out. If you see something going on, make a note of it, get it to the right person. If you're out there, seeing something crazy going on, pick up the phone, make a phone call, log it, stuff going on late at night, take it on yourself. If you feel like we need to start locking up at 10 o'clock, or lock up at different times for a while, until we get to the bottom of it, instead of keeping on fixing our same old destruction over and over again. I think with these name cameras and some different things, that I think we could probably pick up someone that's interested in health, they're interested in what we're doing, and they care about the park, and it costs the city very little in comparison to what we're already spending trying to get back where we started. And pickleball thing also a go deal right now, and I'm not talking about necessarily doing it and trying to recover our money. I'm just saying doing it as a way of providing our youth with a nice park at an affordable deal. They can't hang a park for 50 hours a week, that's never paid them for that. It ain't gonna happen. But we might have to figure out some kind of a plan. Go ahead.
So, coming around town for basic taxes, you're not gonna get somebody long as that, all that time, working, people are tired of going to.
Well, now,
It's not an idea, let me say fun.
no, I'm not talking about keeping them there during the time. I'm just talking about someone in the general neighborhood that would, periodically check on it throughout the week and, say something like,
My comment is going to, somebody won't think the taxes are 99, one up, but we get something, I don't know anything about that, but if you go, maybe go about that, if you go over people, you need something like hamburger tax, or tourism tax, or something other, hotels, restaurants, Airbnbs, you're gonna have to get some money coming in, dedicated parts of tourism, something like that. Also, look at it, if I'm going past this time, when it's like you're done, I'm gonna go west this time, November, which is like well, 7 months last time, go past this time. Is there any way that we can add a little tax just for that time, just for like parts of tourism?
here's what we're gonna need to.
Research and figure out.
Okay,
I don't have to-
can I chip in on this? All right, what we did research, I brought up the idea of tourism tax about 3 or 4, maybe 5 years ago. And because in Branson, Missouri, when I was a kid, I was going up there, it's 1,200 population. You up there now, don't tell them what their infrastructure is underground, and we all know how much it's grown. Well, that 1,200 people ain't paid for that. They had to bring it in. The way tax structure is set up in Arkansas, as it was then, they may have changed something, was if we was to do a 3% hamburger tax. Somehow that got called a hamburger tax, but
Yeah, I don't know what
3%,
I'm talking
yeah, it's the same thing you just named. By the time the state got their part and everybody got their part, we was gonna be down, we were getting like a part of 1%. The last study that we had done.
So the state's keep arguing.
Everybody was getting it but us. Everybody was getting it but us. We was gonna have to raise it so much to get a little bit. And I yield it back to you.
2 decades ago, and 6 years ago, we talked about the importance of blending about what we call advertising and promotion tax. And I really want to learn about that. I think that's desperately needed. Because somebody can say, I'm going to do this with lights, I'm going to do this with my place. But see, we don't have a river law. We don't have anything totally to be on all the way around. Because individual property owners do whatever they want to do. But we had advertising and promotion tax. And Hot Springs, they call it company tax. And it was going to elevation the revenue city of Hot Springs over there. And it worked. And it could have been too. And just like you said, alcohol became a portion of something. That's another separate issue. But the reality of it, we desperately need that. Because, drive to McDonald's, go anywhere. There's tourists everywhere. And they're using our streets, they're around the police, they're got the lights on, and we don't have a penny. Now, the businesses do. In fact, it's about 10 years ago, the business was saying that's enough. But it really isn't. We want taxpayers to pay attention to that.
Karen, on that note, he said, you reach out to Martha, my wife, she's been doing it 26 years, she handles all the tourism tax returns. She collects that.
I've talked to Martha
It's-
sometimes, it's crazy.
She knows how to do it, she does it every day, and like I said, it's not paid, it's paid by, if you go eat, you're gonna pay it, but it's paid by your tourism. And it's collected.
I got here about $25 meal, and on that, $3.75,
Yep.
75 cents.
And my wife she just texted me and said, if you guys had an AMP tax, it would go strictly to you, it doesn't go to the state.
So if I could chime in.
They get the 1% or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
if
do it
it's
there, Billy.
1%,
You can do a 1%.
you
It's what you do. Yeah.
It would more than.
So you think when you go out to eat, it's 2% on your bill, it's not a lot.
Yeah.
Okay,
My point is it would have to be the right tax and the right bracket, or we're gonna raise taxes for the state of Arkansas below.
If I could chime in here real quick.
You do well,
one second.
Sharon, if I could address your point, and I think it kind of addressed everybody. I was just doing a little research. Hot Springs has a 9.5% alcohol tax in the store, a 33.5% in the restaurant. So if you're getting
That is
spirits,
it.
it's there. They got a sin tax. So what I'm saying is,
Y'all be at mine golf course, it's got a private club. I have to go over there and pay the 9.5% tax.
Yeah.
And then I come back here, and if I call it a tax, they keep the money. I can't put tax on tax, but I have to get 12% more. But that's the cost of doing business. You can't show it as a tax. Because I'm private license. If you buy a beer from me, it's 12%. If you buy a next drink at the country club, it's 15%. They don't show it. That's one reason my prices are so high.
right. Well, I would definitely be looking at.
Those go back to the
that.
state though.
Yeah.
Those taxes are. Then the city may have a separate liquor tax, but the 9.5% that is state.
Sure.
So much money.
Yeah. Well, right. Well, and that was my
No, we're
caveat.
talking about- yeah. So
Right.
we're talking
What we did
about
there.
taxes and everything
Okay.
right now. But let's get back to what we were.
Yeah, there we go.
But I think where we need to go with this, first of all, is have a committee meeting. Everybody is interested. Next to meet or time, let's meet the ball field. That would be great. We'll have a plan, I think.
Well, I think we're talking two different things. I think you're talking the ball fields get started and get moving, and then a tax gets to help them,
Would be a totally different ball.
and that's gonna go, if you do a tourism, whatever you wanna call it, tax. That comes in and that'll have fun stuff for that, but a lot of that money is specific at work. It's gotta go back to advertising. I mean, you ask your wife how much that's gonna go back to advertising.
all how you work.
Yeah.
If you do parks and tourism, it's parks.
It depends what it's earmarked for.
Yes,
That
ma'am.
kind of works.
Well, this is about tax. Foxborough has a field tax on Airbnbs, and I'm not sure if this is correct, if I'm quoting this correctly. But that is actually $40,000 per year, they use it on the website and everything. And that's a tax that would not affect our citizens, maybe because they could be visitors. And then on the tax, that's going to choose purpose, choose emergency staff, and it's on everyday necessity.
I think both situations here need to be addressed, but if we're gonna try to do ball fields, as a for instance, if you wanna do ball fields right now at the park, we'll have one lid. As quick as it gets dry enough to get cold up, like a big truck in here. We'll have one lid. We've got 3 fields up there. It's got a bathroom there that's not being used for some of these things that can be laid up. And Jody, we can't put any improvements on, but we could use you said they could use the ball field as it says on Little League right now, right? Y'all can start using that field tomorrow. And we're gonna make improvements, we gotta go back and get with them. They gave us that much permission right now, so we've got, I think the committee's gonna, what you're gonna have to do to get all this working. First of all, I think I think got one on ball fields, and then one looking at your tourism tax, and separate, that needs to be brought back. Johnny's daughter has worked some on that with us, because they've got, there, at River, you got 30 cabins in there now, or out, or more than cabins, but.
You can use the tourism tax with law. You just have to word it like Jimmy said, as long as you sponsor a regional event, then that tax money can go towards that law.
And I'm all for it. I think we're all for that, but it's not gonna happen with 5 guys you're looking at up here. We gotta have that guys. So, who else back in the audience has got something, I'm sure that's something, anybody have anything you'd like to say?
We had a meeting for anyone that's truly interested, we'll get it out on Facebook, we'll let everybody else about it. And we meet at
Ball fields that way.
well, I understand it, but, and you kind of get a game plan, everybody needs to be there to see, I'm tripping up there, it's a mess. It's gonna take a lot of work. totally dedicated to not to make this happen. We are making that make happen. Then we can start off with that $25 and get them to see. I love that. That's very easy.
You're gonna have an organization then.
Basically, you gotta get, if you want to get turned over to you.
I'm going to talk to the youth, I think the name of it, whatever it's called.
There's another reason why the youth association started working with County can't be part of this and it's working with them. You
I think most of
just
them are
broaden
involved,
your
and
horizons.
I don't know, it's not that they didn't want to be here, but they're already tied up to ballgame.
I don't think we're talking a new entity personally, right?
No, we're not, we're all, and like I said, it's the same people, it's just they were either Henry or they already know playing, it can be
They're,
either side.
they're playing with all they got down there. I mean, they're using the facilities all they can use. Yes, ma'am.
If you know how long it takes to get a nonprofit finalized, can you do
Come on, 501c3. Y'all like 501c3?
Is that what it would be?
But-
1, 2, 3, 2, 3 months.
But still, right now,
Used to be 2, 3 years.
kind of, what they call it, it's already there. Central Youth is already there. They've already got everything. So we could, if this all goes together like to me, it all goes together, we're not working against them, we're working with them, we're trying to get more place for kids to play. I would think that we could just dovetail right in with that and not, we don't need a new, I don't think you need a youth organization, we need to get, so we can use these fields, I don't think you need a new organization.
They may have a little bit of some of that money they raise, what they have. They don't want to go here, probably.
Well, that's a discussion that would have to be had, and at some point in time, it's the same kids, that might not be a good discussion, but I think today, from their viewpoint, it's a very good reason not to want to get up here. They didn't raise it for here, they raised it for down there. If you get to working together as a group in 2 or 3 years, I don't think that would be a valid argument.
No, because more than likely, who's the hosting kind of small tournaments, you know, below there, you're gonna need both sets of kids.
Correct.
I mean, 1 or 2 kids is really enough to do what you need. But if you get one, that's better than none.
Right.
Yes.
The city's gonna be kind of, we're just kind of, well, some way we'd have to get, go spend some of that money on it, have to get the city involved in it, some of it, but that's something to be worked on as you, move forward in this. Randy, you're right back here. So are we. I mean, I know school board members, are y'all on the back of all school board? Y'all are all positive, the citizens can get positive. The school board's all, they're here in force, and I think they're not gonna say, hey, here's your property. That ain't, don't want that to happen that way. Are you talking about over there with the T-bone,
Yeah.
the chain link fence is, if somebody go over and put it up, it's still laying on the ground over there. All the pumps all around, everything, it's just gotta go put up.
We used the fencing, we took it everything. I think there are a few things we can call the city on, and we don't. We cleaned it up, cleaned all the brush, cleaned out buildings, painted buildings, took pictures, all nice. The city didn't help us either.
Amity still, I mean, the sorting room right now, where we got it now, is doing the same thing down there. There ain't no money there. It's not gonna be, this is not gonna be any different situation any way you
I was
slice
just
it.
recently, so, well, we can't, like, if we go there tomorrow with 35 guys, we can't necessarily work on it.
We've already got permission to do
To
that.
clean it up.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And the only, one on the left that you said the fence is down, we can start working on that.
We can set a date and have everybody there for a cleanup day and see where we are, start making checklists.
Or y'all could, that's not the ideal deal, because the only bathrooms on it yet, the only lights on it, but you can come in. To me, if y'all got that working and got that much interest in it, then you're gonna let you know where you need to progress forward. If there's enough interest to really do this, or is this just everybody thinking they want to do it? Nobody's,
There's a lot of ways to do it.
Jody, would there be a problem if we fix the lights, we put new lights up over there where the poles are on one field? I'm not saying they're gonna do that,
I think the initial conversation you and I had last spring was this. So our team leader is practice on, do you mind just push all these things up so they have their practice on? That's kind of, that was the conversation I took forward. Are you okay with this? That's what they ended up moving forward last spring, was that was recess, that conversation. As far as moving forward with lights, with anything, permanent improvements, so on and so forth, I think that's where we're saying, okay.
let's talk.
Organization here, whoever, that's out of plans, they have a deal, I think the board would be willing to take our board to say, this is our plan, and pursue that road that way. And we'll get quickly, that's what I recall. Figure out, I think we should have people there to have some way for you to kind of gather it up, get the right spots, they'll present that to us.
But y'all got 2 fields there, you can plan on it, y'all be planning on the city fields. Y'all just need to, we don't have, there's a lot of us kids doing soccer up there, but nothing's organized. There's a little bit of T-ball being played, a lot of T-ball being played up there last year. There was very little played up there this year. I don't know, I mean, the city has no problem with using those fields. There's one field laid out up there for girls softball.
I think there's a girls softball field.
It's laid out, it's not got anything else to do other than this field laid out, but it's regulation ain't playing it.
And to be clear, there's no, you don't have to sign up or anything. You can just go to work and practice with your team. So if
You
somebody
get busy, you got busy with, at city parks where you were saying, I got 10 people coming up there, we wouldn't even get somebody to set schedule up and keep up with the schedule and use them, but other than that, that's not a problem.
That's what we're talking about, like next Monday night, okay, you just have people show up and you 100%, you know, if you can be there, or if you can be there, and say, this is, we can clean up, we can clean up,
And use.
and use it. And see, if there's truly the interest there, we can sit here and talk all night about
Yeah.
what we want to do, but if you have bodies there, and people willing to work, 3 or 4 people cannot do this. It's gonna take a big crew, of 50 people willing.
big charge back
She
there.
got one more right back there.
Yep.
I'm confused, how many field are there? There's 3 over at the old middle school building.
There's 2 laid out right now. There could be 5 over there, right, in that area where it's laid out. That one field y'all put up was room for 4 if you developed it all out right, I think.
I think they take off the board.
There could be 5 over there, but there's one that's got the fencing, the post up for it.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all got a committee that's gonna meet. I can come up here Monday night, that's what y'all
I'll
wanna
make
do.
sure everybody knows about it and go on meet, and then we'll go from there. Okay? That way, then we can report back. So we had 10 people show up, we had 50 people show up.
But still, if all teams wanna start using the field, let's get them cleaned up, they can, correct?
So we can clean the fence, we can clean up all over it.
Just don't build anything.
Yeah,
Just
we're
don't build
not
anything.
gonna build, that'll be my part.
Well, he said, "Oh, man, that won't be later."
Yeah.
We put it, y'all, we can put the fence up right there, I can put the fence up that's laying there. The posts are all in the ground.
Unless it's fixed, if I build anything else that's still property, all those things probably need to be really checked in, not getting out of, everybody's else here, yeah, unless, but the other things you go on.
Yeah.
Go into the school, every school in the road. And if they fight with you, you can get something, like, get some kind of agreement. I don't know what the report is.
That's not this.
Okay. I wanna meet Monday night at,
We'll get Rob Martin. We'll get a Facebook page going, or, you know, Facebook, and we get it in the paper, and just meet, and, I mean, just meet, discuss, and I want to have that.
I'll call them.
Actually, you get hold of Steve, Gary, we need a agreement. Figure out how to take it.
all right, y'all go take care of that. Tourism tax and all that's discussion for a little later on, that's not in this. That is the important part we look at, that's good. Superintendent, still appreciate all you guys coming out, hopefully the citizens want to get something going on this.
Thank y'all very much.
Okay, April 26th, minutes.
Okay.
Okay, April 28th, minutes.
Good. It's good, light reading for the weekend.
Got a motion to accept April 28th minutes.
Alan? Yes. Chase?
Yes.
Yes.
Financials. We got a little bit of pressure doing this, Jason's in there, off there, I'm sure we don't do it.
On the first page, is the Glenwood Water Sewer P&L budget act. You'll see at the top, there's a grant from RC with $360,500 in it. That money's actually part of the sewer project, so we should be down under the sewer main load line.
That went to the lawyers and the engineers.
Sewer, what'd you say? Oh, there it is, okay, thank you. And that's the correct amount, 306?
Yes.
Yeah, I think how much came in.
Yeah.
They just
should be
put it in
under the sewer main load line. It
The,
does technically come from ARC.
Correct.
So that's,
we have 3 projects in the LB going this year that will come into the NRC. There are 3 different complete projects. The water project, the sewer project, and the UD light, which got through for the other night. So I know 2 of them are going through this year, because we've already started on the sewer and UD light. It's just a matter of getting the paperwork done and getting it ready to bid. That'll be coming through. The water will be coming through if they get everything done on time. They don't have the final plans, the health department get on them. But that all comes through the same government funding initiatives. So it's gonna, when those checks come in, Jason's just gonna help mark them so you know which one of those 3 accounts it goes to.
there will be a separate checking account for the sewer project.
And then water will do it.
Good.
Anyone on that, UD light, probably need to put the checks, still on the down account. There won't be as many checks on UD light, because what this bid, that contractor, he'll come to me and it'll be done. $500,000 project, so I don't think it'll be, the water and the sewer both will have a lot of checks going on here.
You'll see the engineering fees and the legal fees are in the expense. It says engineering fees sewer, 275, then legal fees 35.
Yes.
That's what those are.
That's part of the sewer project? That is earmarked sewer, so we know, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll probably move those 2 into the sewer expense, just so it's in there.
Okay.
One hole.
I like that better, just legal fees.
Going on to the next report is P&L year-over-year comparison, 425, second one.
I do have a question real quick, Brenda. On that one under expenses for the water and sewer, what is the dues and permits? Is that just our, like our water permits and all that? Okay. It's just strictly the water though, right?
Could be some water.
Water sewer. Okay, I just want to make sure that one, because, we do have a different one for permits and that's good. Thank you.
It's in here, too.
Yeah.
That don't go to that.
Yeah, I just, it's on,
So we're, $300,000 came over last year, but also, see, we got $365,000, which is main business cost. Expenses are, again, about $300,000 more than they were last year. Everything else, okay, pretty close to the balance sheet is on the next page. We do have more CDs this year than we had last year. And we're moving money out of non-interest-bearing accounts and CDs. This makes me interest on cash we don't need right now.
Everybody remember, as we're going through the next 3 years on sewer, I don't know how many years on water, the income from both the water and sewer loan is already coming in. And no expenses are going out on the, I don't know when the expenses on the water project, because it's not even bid yet, so with the sewer project, you won't have an overpayment on that for 3 years. So the income in both water and sewer for these new projects is funded and coming in. That's why it looks like a windfall money coming in. Your financing had to be put in place for these jobs. The financing there, the income's there, but you won't have any expenses on sewer for 3 years, and water's got to get under construction. I don't know when it'll be. We'll get it started in maybe 4 years. And with that note, in the bank revenue line, I make a motion you buy $500,000 CD. You're moving $300,000 out, operation maintenance this month in income. That money that's sitting there, not getting interest on it, needs to be in CD.
You didn't make a motion, but I'll make a motion.
I can't make a motion, I didn't mean to, I said I
But
would.
I will make the motion.
I made a motion, yeah. Thank you. And 300,000 of that will come out for operation and maintenance this month, and so if you look at the meeting, 300,000. Yeah. Have a second?
What about, do we go higher than that a little bit?
You gotta have somebody in there to operate with you. You might be able to find somebody.
I'll second that.
Okay.
I don't think I have a payment on that at all, do we, but until the project's completed for 2 years? It's accruing interest. It is accruing interest as you borrow it, but we're not paying that till, they give you a chance to get your finances in order before you go in, before you start paying out, which is very nice in NRC to let you do that. Accruing interest on it, but that's all figured in the note payment, in the 20-year payoff, if you get that schedule, when we start paying, it's the penny already wrote down what that's gonna be. And that's not, that wasn't even negotiable, the time we signed the paperwork on it, it said your payment will start here, and this will be the amount each month.
We have a motion on the floor, we have a second right here.
Motion was for 500,000?
Yes, 300 to the operation.
Okay. Yeah, revenue. Yes.
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 We need a short 6 minutes, so we've got to, keep everybody signed, you're gonna do, entertain a motion that Jason gets the best interest rate, gets the CD.
I'll make that
Yeah,
motion.
like we did like that, yes.
You make that motion?
Jason made a motion. Second. John makes a second.
Yes.
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 We'll need to get a small set of minutes done on just that one line, so Jason can take it to the bank, we'll do the interest rate.
I'll send that.
Yeah, like you did last time.
Yes.
Perfect.
Okay? All right, let's go on through the budget, the finances.
We'll go on there. General fund, P&L, budget actual. What we put aside, so we, for it. With the lowest large, instead of Mr. Next. I can't say that.
That's what we do.
General fund, P&L budget. We're 32.4% gross profit, 16% income, so as far as profit goes, we're tracking very close to where it should be. Expenses pretty good, but our income, expenses pretty high. Tracking pretty close.
Well, we know what the number that is in the fire code.
You can tell more with the P&L previous year comparison. Look, we're pretty close to where we were last year as far as revenue goes. We're about $27,000 over expenses where we were previously. A lot of that is in control.
Well, there you go.
That's center.
Okay, that's right. Market is over budget. budget where, balance sheet, general fund.
You paid for the lights, not over there. Well,
Yeah.
I just wondered why over there, the lights paid for, but they're not put up.
Yeah.
We still have to wire and electricity. And I, for that, turn this over to you. No, I didn't plan. Our truck gets back, and it went back on good. We knew we had the emissions control problem. I got the guy, got his little swing computer down, and the fire truck is under, and we're on two expenses and something else with it.
Any other questions, Jennifer? Street fund, next, budget action. 15% of budgets, the revenue and 7.6%. We get into proceed more, how we actually perform for the next report, the previous year comparison. We're a little under, 36,000 under in revenue, we're also $39.96. Pretty close,
Yeah.
as far as the numbers we were last year, but the difference. 76,000 in income budget. Any other consent? The balance sheet's on there.
The highway department has called me, the grant for, Kevin said we're getting it, but the highway department's coming down to look at it, and that'd be real. So if they're coming down to look, that usually means you're gonna get your money, they don't come look, they haven't announced the grant, but they are gonna look, they've already said they would come down and look at that First Street, get it repaid, so more than likely that grant we've been waiting on 3 years will be here this year. It may not get as much as we had down, because that's all, it's went up so much in the last 3 years, but we've got Mountain View and First Street before it's turned in on that grant application. And they are coming to look, so I would be, they wouldn't be coming to look, they wouldn't let us look.
Was it better down in Chico? I like that.
They've done this, they've done everything.
I know we were last year 770, now we're only 300. Even.
We did a lot of asphalt
Yeah,
last year.
yeah, I know. Well, this is a repair. I think we could have this year. All right, cool.
Anything else on street?
No, I like it.
Sanitation, budget action on the next page. The reimbursed CD, purchase CD, I was just watching after the
You change banks with them, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You make your CD, change one bank to the other, that's why that shows up.
You take those in the correct motion. Kind of cute. Then the previous year comparison on the next page, $12,800 income this year, $10,900 last year. We've got quite a bit more income. Again, because of the CD line and for everything else is tracked. Pretty close to it.
In your CDC sheet, and sometimes it's behind, but all CD in each part. These might be big ones, but it's pretty good.
Trying to make this money.
Hard to make forward, just like that. You don't want to.
I would foresee the rates I would get on this next one being in the 3-3.5 range.
Any other questions on the financials?
Like most we approve them as presented.
That's second.
Second.
Roll call. All right. Diane Allen, hello.
All right. I was asked to dive into this Act 922 bill that the Arkansas passed, which gives cities and counties the ability to develop an ordinance legally drive a UTV on city streets and highways. The first 6 pages of that packet is the actual act itself, and I printed off the Arkansas website. Gets into detail of do's and don'ts. There's a page on there that says Arkansas Act 2025 UTV street law use. So all I can find on the internet, there's only been one town in one county thus far. There may be more, I just couldn't find them, that has passed this ordinance. There is a copy of both the county ordinance and the city ordinance that passed. In a nutshell, what they've done was just mirrored what Act 922 required. Nothing more, nothing less. We obviously can't take anything out of the act, but if we entertain the idea of passing an ordinance, we could always add to it. So it states,
What you're saying there is we could pass an ordinance, then we later on had a problem with certain issue that we didn't foresee, we couldn't amend that.
absolutely,
Let me ask you a question now.
yes.
The ordinances that the town has passed didn't do anything but adopt the state ordinance, which is the law right now.
That is correct.
What
So
town
if we don't do anything, this is legal in Glenwood today.
We have to pass an
Oh,
ordinance.
we have to pass an ordinance, okay.
Yes.
What town is it? What town is it that's in that?
The town is Bono.
Yeah, they have, so they've not done anything but just
Bono.
copy and paste
Oh, no.
this.
That is correct. And the same with the county ordinance. The county is Sharp County.
You got input? Speak
So-
now.
Well, I mean, I can read this one there. All states do, I think, on 6A, county for cost of revenue for farm farm. I would probably go down the side of it, I just think it's not bad, so it's getting all the way downstream, through lights, back over there, lights on.
Yeah, this one has ordinance.
He's gonna say he can do all that.
Well, it's gonna have to be police, yeah. There's, have to be enforced.
Definitely.
There's things that you just can't do, and I'll run through that. It has to be a UTV, not an ATV.
Can we break that down?
Sure, it's on that page, but I'll-
Basically, it's the difference in a four-wheeler and a side-by-side.
That's right. Has to be 8 inches or less in width, travels on 4 wheels, has a steering wheel, and cannot be straddle seated, meaning four-wheeler, motorcycle, dirt bike. Has to have roll protection in your roll cage. Let's see, it has to be registered for the DMV. And you have to have your sticker on the back window of that. You have to have driver's license, obviously, you have to abide by the rules of the road. Seat belts are required. You have to have one brake light, a minimum. You have to have rear-facing turn signals, and 2 headlights facing forward. What's told a valid driver's license. Again, the vehicle has to be registered to the state of Arkansas, displayed state road roll bar. Must carry proof of insurance, meeting the minimum for a private passenger vehicle. So you have to have the same insurance coverage on the UTV as you would. Now, yes, ma'am.
Basically, you're gonna have a motorcycle insurance.
Now, I have a question. Is this just city streets?
So, the act says that the only thing the state restricts is a 4-lane divided highway or a highway where the speed limit exceeds 55 miles per hour and or state parks. We don't have anything within the city limits of Glenwood that would fall into those 3 criteria. Again, we have the ability, and I'm just using this as an example. If we didn't want this ordinance, we didn't want UTVs out on Highway 7, we'll just word that into the ordinance. Again, it would have to be enforced. We have the ability to do whatever we want there.
As long as you follow the guidelines.
I will say that if we amend, if we add to what the state says the number of requirements are, such as adding a street or highway that we don't want UTVs on, then we have to have a map. And Brenda has to have a map on file at City Hall.
And if for some reason, like, one reason that I'd be really reserved about, restricting anything on state highways, because the defense attorney, that's the first thing he's gonna do, is he's gonna say, well, the state said you could do it such and such, and then Glenwood, until you sort of get the jurisdictional thing, there, but, I think, from what I've seen from traveling across Arkansas, and I mean, I've got one office that I hour, 30 minutes to one way, every week, and I go through a lot of different communities, got some family that lives up in northeast Arkansas, and there's lots of communities where generally they just turn a blind eye. Mineral Springs is one of them, Graham, Arkansas, Mount View, Arkansas, Greers Ferry, there's several where they just, I mean, it's their mode of transportation inside Chandler, chicken houses they got scattered all over town inside Chandler County, and, at least with this situation here, with what they passed is, it appears to me that they put some uniformity to what they expect. Because one guy's definition of side by side, maybe not another guy's definition of side by side. You know, 2 lawn chairs strapped to the side of a motorcycle is not side by side. Or it is.
Yeah, the state, I think, did a great job of defining, what could be on the highways and streets. And to your point, they basically got it written out here, go-karts, golf carts, e-bikes, all that doesn't fall under this. I think, yeah, I don't know how they can
I
succeed.
couldn't have it could sue us because it's an ordinance.
But,
It's like you driving a car. If you roll a car and get killed, you can't sue us.
so, I think that would fall down, like you're talking about, these big lift, I know what you're talking
I know
about.
exactly what you're talking
I think you're gonna get into that 80 inches or less there. Because they go up, they go out, right? I mean, that's just the nature of it, so.
And I told, like all our tourists that come here, I talked to them too, they go down Tranquil, sometimes they're out there, Arrowhead, they're at Lucky, which that's their county, but I mean, and I tell them this, you know, nights you can take seat belts and everything, don't have to swap time, I wear seat belts, I mean, you have kids hanging off, and that's probably, I mean, and you got insurance, that's the biggest thing, if you're driving your personal vehicle, I always never tell people, or this, and they complain about, what if those guys, they didn't have insurance, they don't have insurance, and I'm like, well, state's working on it, and the council, it's still time, but they got insurance, and that's my insurance, it doesn't come along, I don't know.
So here's one caveat to it all. I had a couple ask me this weekend that come up from Texas, and they already have been discussing this, and they want to know how they could register their UTV in Arkansas. So I've done some digging into that, and they can't. So technically, even if we pass this ordinance, if you have somebody come up from Louisiana or you have somebody come up from Texas, if they were going to put their side by side on the road, even if they had the blinkers, the insurance, they still are breaking the law because that UTV is not registered in the state of Arkansas. So this law is driven towards helping locals. Business.
Is there possibly a interstate type situation where, it's like, okay, like, for instance, if you move to Mississippi tomorrow, your tags are right down there for a certain length of time. At some point, you're going to have to change your license plate. But you're going to go illegal just because you moved to Mississippi and you still got Arkansas tags. But after 30 days or 60 days, wherever you've got to change your tags, is there not a situation where they have like a holding period of time or anything, or maybe it's something overlooked?
Well,
We could amend that to ours, as far as ours could go. No?
that's the state. We can't
Got
lessen
to be
the
registered in the
state.
state of Arkansas.
Now, when I researched that particular question, the state of Arkansas defined it clearly. that in order to be within the law of Act 922, that vehicle, that UTV, had to be registered in the state. Okay, well, that point, does it fall back to the discretion of the officer? I don't know, I don't know, but
Well, maybe one of the deals, Johnny, like it was on big trucks for years, where people got a bill box and they had several types, get a bill box and I've got Oklahoma and they possessed them side by side, and you know, maybe one of these.
Illegal in Oklahoma, that's what it is.
Huh?
In Oklahoma, that's what it
that's
is.
actually what it is.
No, I'm saying, you know, big trucks had for years.
Yes, ma'am.
But in the whole state, and there's 200, almost 200 small towns under the state. So, what's on the, and only one town, is the only one that's sitting there. We need to continue to
There may be more towns and counties out there.
There's a map of it.
I don't know the answer to that.
This didn't become law, this didn't become law
So-
4/8/25.
That's correct.
So this just became law, so you really had to act pretty quick to get,
Now, I will say there's a ton of forms on that city council, counties are having these discussions. No, absolutely not, no.
But Sharon, you gotta admit, they can jump on the heat.
2,700. See how he's in Jones Road.
Sharon, Miss Sharon, you can get on the e-bike, you don't hunt metropolitan, hunt to do anything, just drive it. You get on a motorcycle, no helmet, no seatbelt, no metal pipe, whatever, you know, there's so many different things. You jump on a bicycle for that matter, with a chain, you go down the city streets, and, well, I mean, it kinda comes back to, sure, we don't want to have any accidents, but we would like to be, you know, forward leaning on helping our tourists and, helping our locals and encouraging families to spend time together, enjoy Glenwood, be a part of Glenwood, you know, and, you know, like you said on the enforcement part of it, you know, the things that are going to put, you know, you're going to have a little bit of problem with people trying to shoot across people's yards, you're not going to want that. There's going to be some downsides to it, I'm sure, but we can always amend something. But if we start with what the state passed, it's going to be pretty easy to amend it to fit something that's a real issue to us, not a one-off, but a big issue. You know, but at least, they wouldn't be required to have insurance, so that's going to get rid of a lot of stuff. I met a guy on Mountain View, yesterday, he's going about, I don't know, they seem faster than they are sometimes. He's going 50 miles an hour, probably on a little two-cycle, four-cycle, four-wheeler, driving in the middle of the road, wound out, and, you know, I didn't much like that, you know, well, but, it might have been more than that, you know. Anyway, I think it's a good thing, I think Glenwood's headed towards a tourist style economy, more so than it's ever been.
all right, any more discussion? What is,
Well, there's only a few of us. The deal is, one, do that. You take, you try to do first down, and you side by side, maybe for something you're trying to go, over the rest of the gas, and I'm trying to go occasionally. How you gonna roll up Rick? He was one to get killed. And I took the call from dispatch on him, and he was one of the friends' house down on 6th Street. And he breaks by the road, and he stopped falling so many miles away. And at that time, still a call, I realize this and that, but I mean, I was just one, you know, said, do right. And I know, man, they didn't, I mean, and I hated it, but I mean, and I hate right up local, that was one supervisor was getting killed. And remember things going through that. I wish we didn't have that. I wish locals could, but it is a problem. So, they have locals, trying to just go take them out, go back to the. And he was written, unbelievable. And he went down Middle Street, and it was got the old, right down Middle Street, and it was also, I said, you know, and he's right beside the road, and it cut across, there, there's another store. He can't go right, he's still got to make it right, he's still got to go down, down. And I think that was, you know, find out, try to, that might be what I'm talking about. I got insurance. And I like on I didn't have a break, police officer, he didn't say. My assistant said, yeah, that's insured, this is a different vehicle here. You know where I see that, but not in her, not in the hospital.
And I'll just put, and I'll pass it to you real quick. I would say this law is designed to be enforced. So, you know, seatbelts, insurance, whatever, if it's not there,
You don't see it.
yeah.
right now, I mean, well, let Sharon go this section. But right now, we don't pass this until illegal when they're on the road, correct?
For the most part. There are some
Well, I can't throw some hay in the bag.
But how do you want the city council? Like, I don't know if that's what John did. How was the city council? How do you want it? People from Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, there's something in by sides that are not registered in St. Arkansas, but they do have, like, much of a city, and they have insurance.
Yes, sir.
Mayor, Councilman, just a second, back on the line, you said, and I don't know if he's not public, necessarily in the second, we'll take the one thing. You want to see that we are, police officers, the last meeting, we were at, we were all at, the council decided to back, the lights are on, the people are, those lights never stay on the weekend, whether or not it's and yet, I had midnight on the computer, okay? Little Rock is actually the same, Little Rock, kids, 10 o'clock, curfew, we're not doing anything till midnight. And I know we're not doing, but what I'm saying is, if we have 3 officers, and then we look on the council in a second,
the budget animal control, we had by new refrigerator. We know what it is. It ain't gonna, not recurring expenditure, it's not doing something stupid. Anyway. City wishes.
So, I'm not proposing that we try to pass an ordinance tonight.
Okay.
I don't know, that's, you're exactly right, Mayor. I wanted to see if there was interest in moving forward with this. I'll be glad to work with them to get the ordinance written up and present it to the next council meeting.
I make a motion, we take a mock vote, and, obviously carry it weight, and that'll give us a month for anybody that's got anything they'd like to say, and, or whatever, maybe we have a brainstorm idea. But here's something that we want to think about. Okay, earlier in the meeting, we talked about tourism tax and all that, and then, you go down there to Florida, you can rent some little things, drive all over the place, in some of them cities down there, little 2 or 3 well bikes and different things, there's whole business things like that on the beach down there. And, we're in a unique place there with all these beautiful rivers and mountains and all that. A lot of people go up there between Mena, and they are having side by sides down here. I don't know for sure. I figured that situation you're talking about with out-of-state, ATVs, I figured that, side by side, I figured that they will very quickly put a clause in there of some sort, that the original deal, so, probably right now, if I had to guess, I'd say state police, probably would wrap them up, because they were registered not off every day on the weekend. I wouldn't think they would, they release good, so it's on the house, and there's others up together. But I don't know.
That's a law, right? At least they do write a ticket, that's a law. He's gonna have
I've
to
got stopped,
stick.
I've got stopped 3 times by the state police on my side by side, and they have been so kind to me. I had my family on there, they asked to see nothing, they smelled my drink, make sure there wasn't anything alcohol in it. They told me have a nice day, one of them was out there to golf course in front of you. But anyway, I'd like to see take a mock vote and see where we stand, and let's see, if we want him to go with Johnny go with Dustin, get us something, an ordinance that we pass.
Right.
One question. How would this ordinance affect us on the farm with our old side by side? We are 8.5 miles on the street, before we get into the county, we part of the farm. On the town, we're about the farm, 8 miles.
It's not going to affect it. There's a deal in here that states very clearly it doesn't change, it don't change any of the other stuff. The way I read it, it says it's not, I don't know if I can find it as easy as I did what we
It said
told.
if it goes over to the county, you have to have the approval. If there's an issue, it goes to the county judge.
Yeah, it says,
But if you want to go get gas, you got to have your insurance, your driver's license, your registration on there.
yeah, if you fall under agriculture.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's same thing on side by side. Yeah. But in theory, Rick, you and I both know that you go about, hey, about your side by side and under agricultural side and go right all over town if you want. No, it says clearly in here that it's not, the one he's got that duplicates, the one, say, 922, is that what it is, Johnny? Yeah, it states not to do away with changing that, this was just clearly to address the issue of giving the cities the ability to authorize side-by-side use within their city limits. That's the only thing it changes. Yes, sir. There is one little line here that says, if Rick Riggers gets cut in, John Underside, he'll make a citation, no less than $500. But,
All right, Adam, would y'all take a straw vote? Y'all take a straw vote?
I'm for it.
I'm good.
I won't see it. Oh, yeah.
All right, so that would mean, Johnny, you need to bring an ordinance. If it doesn't bring an ordinance to the next council meeting, is that what you're gonna say?
Yes.
Because
No, you're gonna hear
I'll be honest with you. If it passes and it starts to become an issue, I'm gonna be all for pulling it.
Yeah.
Because
The thing about it
we
is-
all know, I mean, I'm just saying, female strong coordinator has to be enforced, and I'm not talking bad about you, John, please don't take it this way, because I'm known as a cop killer anyways in town. But if they don't police this and it starts getting bad, I'm not gonna be for this, because if we're not gonna have people enforcing it, why?
Yeah.
That's my theory. I'm all for it if it works, but if we're constantly getting complaints that, oh, I watch Super drive all day long, you never had our cops don't do nothing, that's gonna be an issue with me.
The one thing,
This is already a state law, like, I'm just questioning, I don't know.
So right now, I can't get insurance as it stands this evening, even if I went and got insurance and had my UTV registered. Everything Dustin said, I jumped out here and wrote, I'm in violation of law because as it stands now, the city has not passed an ordinance.
Yeah, no,
Adopt that ordinance.
now you can tow that thing out there to the city limit sign and unload it. You believe
All the state has done really is give us the authority, the ability to pass an ordinance allowing this.
Once across the city limits, that doesn't change anything. This is a state law, that goes no matter where you are, correct?
And
Right
county
now.
Pike has not passed an ordinance.
We can't do, they can't, that's their,
Technically, they're in
once they're out of city
violation
limits,
of
they're in
law.
violation.
But the law right now is you have to do those things.
Yes.
Statewide, not citywide or countywide, or it's state law that we're talking about. We adopt that and make it right in the city limits under those conditions.
Yes, sir.
Correct.
But they can't do that
No.
anywhere in the state. though.
No,
The way the law is.
they can only go farm to farm.
I'm trying to get clarification on the law.
Yes, sir.
I'm thinking that the one thing that I would highly prefer that Dustin put in there, as far as different than what we got, is that you have, factory exhaust, or at least similar, equal
I
to.
like the fact
Yeah,
that
so they're not
it's-
running around with these bumblebee pipes on the
Yes,
house.
Yeah. And then I would say
that would be a big one to me.
a lot of them have the LED lights and stuff,
Yeah.
rock roller lights and things.
So that would fall under the rules of the road?
Yeah, that would be very legal,
Correct.
and it's outside road, but the city.
But when they're riding, yeah, because it does say in there.
Yeah, they're gonna be on
They
there, they just
have-
can't be using them.
So even like on the truck, you got 45 bar on the cab, but you can't take it, you have that on.
Yeah.
Unless you're out, like somewhere like Deep County Road,
Yeah.
or chicken land.
I just want to be sure.
Yeah, I agree.
I like the
All right.
Need to add anything else?
If I think next to do next time. Won't keep on
Next on the list is, I'm gonna give you some changes going on, at the sewer plant. the sewer plant, our big M3 clarifier, 20 foot deep.
That's the one that sits in the back left corner?
The full line is the one right there on the left, M3.
Okay,
The big one.
I see it.
That's 20 foot deep. The valve on it is 20 foot deep, and absolutely no way to get to it. You can't put a box in it, get down 20 foot, you can't get to it. You're not through. Fortunately, the valve is broke open. We went down to what's called RAS well, the pump station that pumps the sludge back to the top of the plant, and found the line about 12 foot deep, and we can get to it there. So I got a company coming in to put a valve on there, and then you gotta cut the sludge valve, that's about that valve's about 10 foot deep. We can get to it, and you have to run another line back down to that 13 foot line and hook up to make this work. It's the only way we can fix this problem, and hopefully the valve stays broke open. Because the valve been closed for years, and all of a sudden it came open and let that clarifier flood out
Is
there.
there an option to dig a trench to this?
You're sitting there with a whole, we had two different contractors look at it, and they said, absolutely, we will not touch that. There's not enough room to get trench boxes in here. And the engineer went out there and looked at it, he said, not enough room to get back to it. This is, if you leave it like it is, the sludge valve will operate, the clarifier returns all the time. You can't use the clarifier like it is. We have to have the clarifier roll back on.
So what's your suggestion?
We're gonna put two valves in down there before we get to the pipes.
Okay.
And fix it that way. Just let you know, you're gonna have a bill from, RBIS, has agreed that they can fix this for you, not the
And it's gonna be in the amount of roughly?
Good question. The valve, the thing about it is, the city crew uncovered the main, the line gotta go through. It's not, you're just working at about 13 foot deep each.
Okay.
So, and you gotta put two valves in, around about 60 foot 8 each line. I don't think we're talking within this amount of money. We're talking 2 8 each valve, 60 foot 5. Like, I just wanna let you know it's there.
65,000?
I don't think it'll run that much, but I want you to know what's coming up. Okay? You can't bid that, I don't think you'll bid that, because nobody can write it up to do it. This is a patch job, get it fixed, and that's the best we can do. We had the engineer come up and look at it with us last week, and he said that's your only option. And one contractor looked at it, and he said, I looked at you, Steve.
Let me ask you a question. Just to keep us out of trouble with, certain agencies. Do we want, are the the engineer that won't touch it,
Not the engineer, contractor.
the contractor that won't touch it, would it, you think you're good enough friends with him, for him to write out exactly why he won't touch it?
He wants to, but he can't get his boxes end up where it was, and we didn't know we could find the line down there. And we found the line,
And
it's
I'm
30
saying,
feet.
let's file it, do that job, and then the other one said this is the only way we can do it. Write that down, file it, do that job, and that way if we have trouble with the state down the road, we'll at least have some, a trail, state
I can
region
engineer, we'll
done.
get that done.
Yeah, I mean, that way it wouldn't be a he said, she said type deal.
It's just all we can do. Just a bad situation that there's not.
We can do that?
Yeah, I can do
That's
that.
a good idea, John.
That's not a problem, that's, this thing actually already asked, just type it up in his bill.
Yeah.
Just have the list there.
Okay.
It's not a problem. Okay. Next thing, the sewer project that we're gonna talk about is under construction. They started on, it's underway, they started on Highway 8 up towards the county line. All that sewer line is in the process of being replaced as we speak. They have two crews that are down working right now. They're in the process of putting the third crew in and the fourth crew in. They got a board up there on Highway 8 spur right now. They found out this morning, he said, "How's that highway? It's for us, it's a state highway." He said, "We got border here." I said, "No, so you better get it. It's got to cross, you can't overcut that, and it's over cut." But that line again, they're starting to, they get that list up empty. They call it Bill Good Lift Station, up there where Dr. West Chiropractor. That's where he is, that lift station here. Those two pumps that are in that lift station, when it rains, they both run full blast, and the rest of it goes through. So we're getting we got 3 lift stations that's doing the same thing, but they're working on that first. They finish that, and then move on. So there's gonna be a lot of sewer line tore up in the next year and a half. And the engineer's trying to get out, the inspector's trying to get out and tell everybody, I don't know how to put this nicely, but administrative order from ADQ, these lines will be replaced. We have easements, because the lines are in there. There's not any lines going in, it's replacement. Somebody gets upset, they gotta be done. Period. I don't know how to put it in, this is not go back and get a new easement, we're going right back, we're replacing sewer line that's in there that's collapsed. NR has a very good chance of collapsing, because all of its sister pipe in the system that is that type of material is collapsing.
Gonna be a lot of yards.
We're gonna make
Tell you
a
what,
lot of mess, and they're gonna clean a lot of mess up. Go look what the boys have done so far, they're cleaning it good behind themselves, and they're not through. Just tell you where they're working right now. And they gotta let it dry out. They've done the best they can do for where they are right now. They've done an excellent job of what they've got done. But when it rains on them again, that's fixing to settle, they'll come back.
You said they
Everybody knows
could come back a year later once everything's settled and.
If they get settled out, they'll be working on cleaning it up behind themselves, just trying to go along. They're not gonna come back, trying to come back from Highway 8 for a year. If we just drive everything on their feet, they'll have to go back in there. That's the way these guys feel. But just tell everybody, yes, we're gonna have a mess in your yard. I'm sorry. That's what we can do. It's gotta be replaced. And yes, we're gonna come back and clean up after it. If not, call, I got my phone number, 870-356-9645, call City Hall. And go get somebody to look at it. And we've got a full-time inspector here that's, actually the city's not in charge of this job. We've got a contractor doing it, we've got an inspector. They have to go through the inspector and the engineer. This is not, it's a city job, and I can't go out there and say, stop, or don't do this. Let it go. That's what we got the engineer hired for. You got an inspector here, so if we don't follow that, we gotta go in. He'll get taken care of. They're doing a good job of it, and it will probably be, there'll be another inspector here sometime with him. I don't know how his schedule's gonna be right now, but there'll be 1 to 2 more inspectors here more. All right, Hilltop Lift Station, lightning hit us Saturday. Okay, right now, all we know knocked out is a 150 amp breaker, one of the, lightning arresters, and three fuses replaced, the lightning arrestor and 150 amp breaker order. That pump hasn't come on yet, it'll pay the electricity. Hopefully, it was a running pump, hopefully it's okay. But I don't think there's anything else damaged right now, I just want you to know, that's a brand new pump out there. It's at the lift station. All right, Jimmy Clark, citizen concern.
All right, after our meeting last week, I received 2 or 3 phone calls, and I asked I'm bad with names, Bob Montgomery. He come visit me, he'd like me to bring it to council. And I witnessed it, I'm just gonna let you know, so, from Smoky, we're talking about Smoky Bear Lane. When they're coming down Mountain View, and turn on Smoky Bear Lane, they are wide open till they hit Clay Street. And he's got grandkids, there's 3 people in that area, got grandkids playing, and they're worried about a car getting sideways, coming, they're asking, we can tell them the police, IB mask, the cops over there at the ranger station, check it out for us, but he's asking about maybe possibly speed bumps or something, just what could we do to help them out, am I correct?
Yeah.
So I told him I'd bring it from council and see what I want to do, but I witnessed it myself, man. They're running 65 plus. Brenda probably can vouch who she lives in about it. Yeah, it's getting out of control. And I know our guys can't sit over all night and wait for that one guy to come through, but I know in the past everybody throws a fit because all your fire department tears up your vehicles. Well, they're not gonna go down that road every day. If they got a fire, they're gonna slow down and go over it. I don't know what we can do. He's just asking for our help because there is a lot of kids that play in that area. What can we do?
Aaron?
Yeah.
Yeah. They sit on that side of Carolina, because they come up with, there's, if we come on that side, and I was sitting on the, wood tree down there, sitting right there, everybody look at it.
Yeah, and if you could put one, if you could put one right, you wouldn't affect but one house. If you put one right there before by the forestry service, there's only Miss Katie, and it's only in. Well, I mean, if you're coming from that, if you put one right before the apartment complex, they've got to stop or something, just something to break their speed up.
You're talking about putting it on the short street?
Yeah, the Smoky Bear between Clay
I
and.
might get motion, I've seen it too many times.
I just somewhere in there, I'd like to see
Yeah,
something.
let's put two in there,
Yes,
go
it is.
about 30 in, and about 30 in, and
I know.
I hate them too,
Police
but
can't do it. Why would, my whole suggestion is, if we're with speed bumps, why would we fix roads? Just let them get potholes and let's slow down.
But I doubt it.
I hate speed bumps as much as the next guy, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
I mean, I'm not saying that,
That's
just I had 3 people call me last week.
I understand there's some other people, you turn down Third Street, they do fly there.
Third Street, this is gonna hard affect me.
Everybody, your neighbors tell them, I'm living in Palm.
The road we're doing, I'm saying, let's make all roads for drive. I'm gonna back up out there on tomorrow and have them all fixed.
Well, you know what? It's either that or you can police force that's going to be out working every day.
You want, okay, let me tell you this right now. You want the police department to only patrol one street, I'll call the chief and say quit patrolling any other street in Linwood, but that one street we can stop it.
I'm voicing a concern for a citizen, and I see it firsthand. Y'all do
We've
what you
got
do.
another spot. Guys, their state trooper is writing tickets out there, more than the city council. They're writing lots of tickets.
I hate speed bumps, Jimmy. Anytime I would vote speed bumps down, like something like the road I live on, I mean, it ain't gonna affect me much because I live right on this end of it, but there's jobs, people living on Baker Road, all up and down Bethel or Children's and stuff, but we don't want speed bumps in all those little places and besides that. But I don't know if they even make it or not, or if it's possible, but the city might look at purchasing a temporary speed bump or two that we could put in a location or two while we're along with us while patrolling it, that we might move it once people kinda got the message. That's a thought.
Get a motion, get a second on the speed bump.
No, I'm gonna withdraw my motion because I think that a temporary speed bump might work really well.
What would you like to see, Ms. McDonough?
Just slow down. I mean, it's just, they come off the mountain, it's wide open, place right here, place right back to the mountain. I see that, Kate said, notice it. Other people know.
Oh, yeah.
Speed bumps don't do much for speeders. They knock the front end out under, but not
One thing that bothers me about speed bumps, the reason I hate them so bad is because you see that very poor person that barely keep tires on their car, and a speed bump sneaks up on them, they hit that thing, and nothing happens other than aggravates them. They go down the road, and maybe 3 days later, and that tie rod end goes ahead and falls off. They wouldn't have fell off if they had hit that speed bump 2 days earlier. And they're just hard on vehicles, and I think that there's a lot of damage that's probably done that's not reported, and especially with your emergency vehicles and such. But temporary speed bump might work for a minute. I don't know if it's even an option.
Like in plastic ones you see that stick, so you're going to mess around with that, man. Mess up your asphalt, just take on it.
Yeah, but I don't know if I had one.
Oh, yeah, I don't either.
Yeah,
How much is the speed bump?
I don't know.
That's never speed bumps, you'll stack it right here.
That's what I always, it's like an asphalt.
I mean, as long as y'all understand we're showing roads are fixing, we're
Yeah.
good shape.
Well, let me ask this, and if I'm gonna propose you in this too. So what I would say is, can we do a month of enhanced patrolling in that area? And then if that solves the problem, great. If not, come back and we'll discuss it.
Keep that to the chief, you can, chief has to make all the.
Sure.
That's why I'll tell you, I tell how people I can, because so I'll be there myself, so just let the chief.
If y'all want the city police, y'all need to come in right now. You want city police to write speeding tickets for citizens instead of state troopers. Because state troopers have been going over there and writing tickets, and we've had all kinds of city, because all I hear when you ride a state, you wrote me a speeding ticket, I'm a resident of Linwood. I said, fine, let's let state troopers write them. State troopers have been over there, they wrote us tickets.
What's the
You
difference?
want our cops to start writing speeding tickets?
Yes,
100%, all the time. Yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
I don't care if you're playing ball, get a ticket. I mean, I'm sorry.
I drive 45
I
to
tell
10
them,
on
I
cruise
gotta change in
control.
the department tomorrow.
I mean, if I'm driving down the road, write me a ticket, I'm speeding.
Yeah, but Billy, we're talking
And
about.
I think we need to do that, especially if we start to talk about bringing in side-by-side and things like that. Your Glenwood Police Department needs to be much more present in
Billy,
traffic.
if somebody's going 48 and a 35, they're probably not much of a threat. We're talking about people going 7 miles an hour over the hills.
They're not going 70 miles an hour over the hill, but I realize they're going probably 20 over speed limit nowhere.
Yeah.
We want to ticket rid of that.
We can't judge that.
That's a-
We can't tell you when to write a ticket.
I mean, it's not about 100 people. I mean,
And they're going so fast and turning up, they're coming up, and then you turn to the assistant living center.
Oh, I-
Or one of those people we're talking about, you guys.
I promise you, if you sit at the retirement center with a radar gun, I promise you, 4 out of 10 cars that come down Mountain View are going 60 plus. And it's a 35 mile zone, and I've seen 3 of our cops sit there and watch them go by. That's 25 over.
Are you going 20 miles over?
We have a Starbucks area, and I've had, the highest I've had is 68.
See?
Usually,
You never go.
we tell, it's not at all. Say, let's just, I can about 10 hours. If you're getting at 40, I'm just sitting at that one, project, sideways, they start getting 12, 13 hours, down. I call it 7 on the long history. Where's he belt black? They don't want to keep, they don't like it.
It's fine.
They're going to not learn.
But like, and over here in this Montgomery, I know you're not going to sit there and catch everyone. They're going to all come. You're not there. I know that. But if they at least see the presence, it may make a difference because I'm telling you, I know you can't get them. I understand.
But Josh and I could be like in our rotations. I'm usually in that area at least 4 times in our rotation.
They're going to do it when you're home and you're in bed, and they know, well, I get home, I got to make it to work. That's when they come through there. But it's pretty
That's
regular.
another thing, we need, essentially, you're most nights you're there, that's
Yeah, he's there.
I know this there, I don't smoke, no girl, any old man lives there. Yeah, so I know the one very end, the broad back, goes back side of the nursing home, they live over there, I know, you know, if you got the top, you got one more there, you go past, you got, I got a Western family left, or you get the plate, then I have my son here. I know, I know the apartment, I got a bunch of kids here, I hit that all the time here in Stevens, like, I hit that 4 or 5 times. And when I have more things, bring them Frankie's home, I call them, 60 plus, they're down there, and by the time I get around, cancel, or cancel, I usually get them back, they're kids again, but you don't see them. So we need to know from this public, let us know, roughly around 6 to 7, they're flying through here, because it's people that are having to get off early, they go, they keep doing something, so we need to know what time, if it's 1 in the morning, we need to know about it, if it's 7 at night, we know, if it's 9:30 in the morning, we need to know about it. We just need to know about it so we can be in the area.
so
Mr. Plug on, Kimmy, I've got to go down, or I go.
Concerned citizen, has a judge come up here and sit here, take it all in, and close the time for people like this, and still, they're not here.
Well, and he came to my house, and I appreciate it. That's my job. He's coming. Come talk to me. I'll
We'll
bring
get,
it.
we will get control more.
Let me know. Call me. Come by. Let me know.
Is that the council?
What's
Y'all
that?
speak up, put in, y'all.
I think, I mean, I withdraw my motion, the reason why is, I think that, I understood you right, you were saying that the state police hammering that pretty hard right this moment.
Put it over a
And
bunch
I
of
understand where you're coming from on that, and then he's obviously just going to do the best that he can. I'm gonna say something very personally myself, and see if he can help us out a little bit on it. And even though it's not doing my job, but I'm gonna ask him as a citizen, and maybe we just try that, see if we can get things sort of going the right direction, a little bit better.
Be in touch with me. Let me know, please.
Readdress
I'll do all again.
it. We all, because we're aware of it, and we do care, I promise.
I would say let's see how it goes for a month, and then we can revisit next month's speed bumps, and if that's the fix, and the tickets aren't fixed, then we put the speed bumps in, and everybody wins. So, everybody good with that?
Fine. Number 11, Billy, next time.
How's everybody bring that?
No, Gator Street.
Oh, okay.
We are, church is doing a, addition down there.
Stop that.
That road we were going to repave, and there's nothing left of that road on Gator Street there. If y'all have any problem with the big set of grain and gravel, you back set with it, we do, or we already paved it, like just paved it, and everything we fixed. There's nothing left on that paving in there right now anyway. If y'all go down there and look at what I'm talking about, you just did that one, 21st, 2nd Street.
That little bitty one.
Yeah, and it's, if y'all look at it, it's, there's nothing left of the road. And I told them I didn't think it'd be a problem, as long as the church set back up with SB2 ready to
Ready
pave.
to pave,
And that way I'll see it back up in there.
I'll say, I'll make a motion.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Somebody put this on my desk. It's the houses that, have you had a chance to look
I'll
at
work on
the
all of it, and, there's one that I'm supposed to meet with Susan today, and I called her Sunday, and, she said she called me today, she had time, and we would go together and look at one place, and then I've got another guy that wanted to work closely with, the one that main last month, and he thought he could handle it a little more discreet, and get it the right direction, at least get clear and do something, and I also volunteer my equipment, my time, and I'm charged to just help her, and he's trying to get that set up for me to do that, so, yes, we are working on that, and it is moving in the right direction.
I did talk to Sally Bowman and Andy, and she's on the council up there, they're sending out letters, so their intention is to see it through. And so I just want to throw that out there that, from what I understand, they're ready to go the distance, so maybe we get